Welcome to Profiles in Caring. We continue our story this week on a group called Empowering Lives International, or ELI, which in a nutshell is providing training and resources and encouragement to folks in East Africa to help them break the cycle of poverty. Now, with the help of a partner nonprofit, Orphans Hope International, they are taking it one step further to help children. Photojournalists Lynn Peterson and Mark Larson start the story now in Kenya.
What goes through your hearts as you drive up to Karen and you hear the singing and dancing starting long before you get there, and you turn down the dirt road and there are hundreds of kids dancing and rejoicing, and you get out of the car and then there's a very thin piece of twine with roses tied on it, and you are made to wait there on this side of the twine while they celebrate you.
I felt like that rope was a barrier that I wish didn't exist. Because as soon as we got out, I know for myself, I wanted to be in with the team. And then once the line is cut, it's like literally walking into and experiencing a piece of heaven. I mean, it's heaven on earth. Like you get to experience that I am not a white person coming into this. I am their brother, I am their sister. And we get to shake hands, we get to hug, we get to sing, we get to dance, and we get to have this moment where we really are family together.
That sense of family together is exactly what ELI has been accomplishing for the poor and oppressed of East Africa through numerous community enrichment programs like business and agricultural training, alcoholism treatment programs, and health care. Empowerment programs all geared toward training the adults within these communities on how to break their cycle of poverty and begin to take care of themselves. But what about the most helpless of those who just can't take care of themselves, the orphaned and abandoned children? Just recently, thanks to the support of Orphans Hope International, ELI is creating new families and new homes for almost 200 orphaned and vulnerable children in Kenya. And it all started in the 1960s when a 15-year-old boy, Ron Messenger, fell in love with a girl named Fran. So he made a commitment with God, saying,
if you give me Fran as my wife, that someday if you financially bless me, that I would go to Africa and work in an orphanage.
Maybe it was divine intervention, because Ron and Fran eventually did marry, and Ron became a very successful businessman. Then, in 2002,
a friend of mine that I was playing golf with comes up to me and says, Ron, don't you get tired of playing golf? Why don't you do something with your life? And he says, I've been going to Africa all these years. And he said, well, I found a person that wanted to build an orphanage. Did you have any interest in doing that? And then I recalled those previous commitments that I made years back, and that God put a way, where I could fill that commitment. And so that was the real motivating factor.
That was the start of Orphans Hope International. But Ron knew he couldn't do it alone, so Orphans Hope teamed up with ELI and created a model for helping orphans that is unique, putting children in home-like environments, not warehouses.
They sit in 4 families. There's 24 children, 12 boys, 12 girls, to a family with a set of parents who have committed their lives to these kids.
They look at these parents as their mother and father. And they take them in, they treat them just as they would treat their own kids. They bond together, they really do become a family.
That's so important. They've lost their parents. And what could be better than getting somebody that's so interested in their life to sit down daily with them if it's necessary and give them a new life.
The first ones that came, remember that they would go in and look at a bed. And you would say, this is your bed. And they would say, for just me, You know, how many people sleep in a bed? They're used to 4 or 5 people sleeping, not even on a bed, on just a fluffed up piece of straw. And for them to have a bed, it was like, what? They don't understand that. And this is your towel. You know, it's hard to see where they started.
The start of each child's story is as heartbreaking as the next, like that of 3-year-old Mercy, who refused to leave her parents' gravesite, hoping they'd come back. She was dying of malnutrition.
So they brought her from the graveyard, literally brought her from the grave to the children's home at ELI. And from there, we integrated her into the family. And now, tell you what, that girl is all smiles and just pure joy. It's incredible.
And initially, when Mercy got to the school, though, she ran away.
Yeah, she ran away her first day, said no, and then came back, and later on her comment was, okay, I'll stay here. This is home now.
When Profiles in Caring continues, we're leaving Kenya and flying over Lake Victoria to the slums of the DR Congo, where ELI and Orphans Hope are turning their focus to education.